Hey there, welcome to Violet's DIY Style. I'm Violet. If this is your first time to my channel, I hope you consider subscribing. Also, don't forget to click on that bell button so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. And if you enjoy this tutorial, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and share with friends and family. So today I'm sharing with you how I made these DIY farmhouse fall garlands, perfect for any mantle or any display area in your home. So when I went to Dollar Tree, I found these beautiful fabrics of like strips of fabric, and they come tons of them in one package. I only used half of the package for both of these garlands. So once I had my strips of fabric, I went ahead and purchased one of these rolls of the white felt fabric from Dollar Tree as well. They have different colors of the felt fabric. I just wanted to use a neutral color, that way in case I wanted to use this garland for a different holiday or season of the year throughout my house, I can still use it without having that fall color in the back. So once I figured out the size of the width of the strips that I wanted to use, I went ahead and just traced it onto the felt fabric and cut out that fabric. And just went ahead and cut out as many strips as I needed of the white felt. Once I had the strips cut out, I kind of figured what size I wanted that circle to be for my garland, and just cut one to use it as a stencil. And then I just went ahead and cut all the rest of the felt the same size. And I did this not only with my felt fabric, but I also did it with the yarn or the fabric that I purchased from Dollar Tree. Since they were already in long strips, it was really easy just to go ahead and use one of the white felt strips that I cut and just cut it basically a little bit larger or longer than the fabric itself. So how I did that was I just started gluing the felt onto the fabric. And I just try to make it right in the center as close as possible. Then I just cut out that strip and then went ahead and continued doing this to all the fabric. Just glue the felt to the back of your strip of fabric, and then just use any kind of glue. You can use the hot glue gun like I did, or even some spray adhesive. I know they do have some spray adhesive at Dollar Tree as well, so you might want to use that. And just go ahead and glue that felt to the back of your strip of fabric. And then just cut that piece off. And of course, you can make your garland as long as you like. I made both of my garlands basically, I want to say roughly about 19 inches in length, but you can make them as long as you like. This strips of fabric, like I said, there's tons in one package. I only used half of the package for both of these garlands, so you can easily make a very long garland if you like or need in your home. I also I picked this certain fabric because I know it looks like fall colors, but it also has really pretty colors like to use for spring as well. So that's why I picked this one, but they do have quite a few different options. At least at the local Dollar Tree where I live, they had about 4 different options of strips and patterns of these packages of fabric. So you do have quite a bit of variety of these strips that you can use. I do want to go back and see if they have one maybe more summer colors and also Christmas colors. When I don't quite remember if they did have any, but I know they did have quite a few different colors. I also decided to go ahead and use some of the wire ribbon from Dollar Tree and that burlap color, and went ahead and did the same thing by adding the felt in the back to add to my garland, just to add that neutral color in here as well. So once I cut all the strips, I went ahead and just glued them into circles like little rings. And here I'm just cutting the edges just to make sure it doesn't frail. So once I cut the first ring of my garland, I went ahead and grabbed some jute twine, and I'm just going to make a little ring of the jute twine, and this is how I'm going to hang my garland. Just go ahead and make a knot, and then what I did once I made that knot is I decided to go ahead and glue that knot to the underneath my first ring, just like this. And that's just to make sure that it doesn't move around. And I just went ahead and made it that way just to make it more secure for me. But you don't have to do this part. This is completely optional. So once you're done making your first ring, just go ahead and choose any kind of other strip that you like to make your second ring by just running it through the first ring you made and then adding glue to the edge of that strip of fabric and then attaching it to make your second ring. And you're just going to continue making any kind of pattern you like by adding all the strips as you go. I didn't really have a certain pattern. I just kind of picked which one I liked and just made sure that they wasn't two of the same strips of fabric next to each other, and just started adding and attaching them and making those rings. And as you can see, why we added the felt in back of each one of these strips of fabric is to make it hard enough for it to stay in place and to keep that ring circle shape, so that way you can see the details of each one of the fabrics. So I just wanted to share with you how I was inspired to make this ring garland. I was at my local Michael's in the area where I live and just looking at all the different fall decor pieces that they had. And I enjoy doing that because I get inspired and then I take pictures of different things that I think that I might be able to make. And one of them was this fabric ring garland right here. And when I went to my local Dollar Tree a few days later and saw this package of fabric strips, I knew immediately what I wanted to make with them. So I just wanted to share with you how I was inspired to make this ring garland right here. And also to share with you that just by a little bit of patience, I made this garland right here for less than $3 versus if I would have purchased it at my local Michael's. Just to give you an idea how just a little bit of patience, you can make something very beautiful at a very cost-effective, budget-friendly way and still get the same effect as you would have purchased the one from Michael's. So yeah, just go ahead and continue making your project by adding that strip of fabric and through the ring that you just made, and then just add glue along the edge of that second fabric and continue adding your rings that way onto your garland. Once you're done adding all the rings, all you're going to do is go ahead and get some more jute twine to add to the end of your garland in order for you to hang it. Now, you don't have to add just that jute twine. You can also add nautical rope, or you can just use the same last ring of your fabric if you want to do that as well. So once you're done doing that, again, just get some more jute twine and add that knot at the end, or ribbon, or whatever you'd like to use in order for you to hang your garland. And there you have it, a beautiful farmhouse garland. So the next one we're going to make is another farmhouse using the same fabric that came in that package. And all I'm going to do is basically cut those strips into half just to make them thinner. And then what I did after that was I grabbed my jute twine, because that's what I'm going to tie these strips of fabric onto. I just kind of figured out what length I wanted, and then I cut those strips into the size of the length I wanted in order for me to tie the knot onto my jute twine. So once I cut all those strips that I needed, I went ahead and just made 2 loops onto each end of my rope, and now I'm just going to grab those strips of fabric and just simple knots onto it, just like that. And you're just going to continue adding all those strips of fabric onto your rope just by adding the knots. And that's how you attach them. And you can make, again, any pattern you like. I decided to go ahead and use some of this burlap ribbon from Dollar Tree as well, and just do the same thing by cutting it into strips and then just tying it onto my garland also. This garland is really simple to make. As you can see, it was just cutting strips of fabric. And if you didn't want to use fabric, you can also use ribbon. If you have a whole bunch of different colors or different styles of ribbons for a certain holiday or season, you could just cut this ribbon in different strips and just do the same thing by tying knots onto a piece of rope or an extra piece of ribbon that you have, and just tying them onto that ribbon and making knots just like I am here, and just using it that way. So there's different ways to making this garland, not just with fabric itself. Again, you can also use ribbons. I don't know about you guys, but I love using garlands, not just as garlands over a mantle, but I also use them on bookshelves. I add them around my coffee table just to give that splash of color. I've even made these when I take pictures, like a family picture or even baby pictures that are really popular right now. You can just add them all over the place in different areas, like a banner. You can put them around the baby itself. So you can use these garlands for a lot of different areas and different ways, not just in your home. You guys let me know in the comments below, have you ever made one of these garlands? And if you have, how have you used it? Just in your home, or maybe like I said, as to use it as a prop in a family picture or a photo shoot. Yeah, but I'm just interested to know how you guys use your garlands. So once you're done adding all the fabric onto the rope that you're using as your garland, this is the way it's going to look. And then you can just add it again anywhere you like in your home, or use it any way you like, depending on what you want to use it for. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. And again, share with friends and family. It'll truly help my channel grow. Until next time, you guys stay blessed. Bye.